being a nice person isn't an excuse to be a pushover. Hey my loves, it's your girl Maria, and as you can tell, I've got a different background today. I decided to sit on my balcony for this video because, you know, you guys deserve the views. I actually feel kind of embarrassed sat here because if any neighbor decided to look out, they could see me, but whatever. Right, what did you guys come for? As you can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking about being too nice. Now, it's a well-known fact that I am a people pleaser. I've mentioned it a lot. I've done an entire video dedicated to it, but in this context, it's when you're too quote-unquote nice to the point of being a pushover. Like, we use it as an excuse. I live next to a train station. Let's just allow that train to pass. Sorry guys. Yeah, first of all, there's a difference between kindness and being nice. I'm not sure if I know how to best explain it, but anyone can be nice. You can be culturally nice, maybe in your culture you're taught to be that way, but being genuinely kind is a character trait. That's what I am. But then now, kindness aside, because that's just my nature, if you're kind, you're going to be kind through and through, but being too nice to the point they allow people to walk all over you, treat you anyhow, and there's something happened today which I'm going to get into that even triggered me enough to say, you know what, this has to be a video because enough is enough. I have to change my ways. I am bad at confrontation. I'm the type of person that I keep my feelings locked away. I keep it in my heart. I sometimes walk on eggshells on glass with people because I'm afraid of what I'm saying being misconstrued. I'm afraid of hurting people's feelings. I don't want to be taken the wrong way, and there's nothing wrong with standing up for yourself, but even that I can't do. And one thing that people around me have kept saying, especially my mum, is, Maria, you need to learn to be more assertive. Like, there's trivial things that shouldn't be an issue or that wouldn't be the issue for an average person, but for me it's almost like I'm scared of people. It's not right because, as you know, I am a believer and the Bible does say God has not given us a spirit of fear. And I want to mention that too because, you know, as a believer, of course, Jesus Christ is the standard. No one can ever measure up and be like Christ. It's unattainable, but he did lay out and show a foundation of how we are to live whilst we're on this earth. And one thing about Jesus, though he was kind, if you read the scriptures, Jesus was never a pushover. For those of you who may not be a believer or you're just not that familiar with the Bible, when Jesus came and lived as a man on earth over 2,000 years ago, there were certain religious leaders, Pharisees, that's what they were called. And to put it in slang terms, like modern day, they tried Jesus. Let's just put it that way. They really tried him. But Jesus stood his ground. Like, if you read the scriptures, he would call them stiff-necked people. He called them vipers to their faces. He called them sons of the devil. I'm not saying go around and tell people that. What I'm saying is he didn't allow them to rule over him. In fact, there was a certain scripture, and I'll put a screenshot here, and in it, Jesus was preaching, and they were upset, and they came up to him, essentially to confront him, to check him, as they say. They were like to him, "Who gave you the authority to preach here? But whose authority?" And then Jesus must have asked them a question back, and they couldn't answer it. And when they couldn't provide an answer for what Jesus asked them back, Jesus said, "Okay, then I won't tell you under whose authority I'm preaching." You see? No nonsense. And this is for everyone, but even a PSA for Christians. People think if you're a believer, if you proclaim Christ, you should be a pushover, accept any and everything, as if you can't defend yourself. Like, if you're a believer watching this, no, there's nothing wrong with defending yourself. Of course, don't be rude. I'm not saying go around and, you know, like cuss people, but stand your ground. I'm gonna tell a little story quickly. There's a chicken and chip shop that's near my brother's house. You know, I used to live with him when I was homeless. And this chicken shop, he didn't really like when you'd pay by card, especially since what happened in 2020, a lot of things became cashless. Every single time I'd go and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm using card," this guy would give me like attitude. I would just feel uncomfortable. He would still take it, of course, but he wouldn't take it without grumbling. He would maybe say something on his breath. And it got to a point where I would tell my mom, "Okay, I'm never going to buy chicken and chips again because I don't want to go there. The guy's going to be grumpy." But then even my mom and my brother would say, "No, Maria, money is money. They have to take it. It's legal money." Like, what? And you know, sometimes in terms of, you know, I've read a video about comparison, and I think I wish I was more assertive like other people. I wish I knew how to defend myself. My mom's assertive. I don't know why I didn't get that trait, that gene from her. My brother, like, I feel like I'm the only one who's so timid, because for example, if I think my other family members, like my bloodline, they would defend themselves. They would never allow themselves to be in half of the situations that I've allowed myself to be in. People know who to play with. I feel like sometimes people can read me and pick up that, Yeah, Maria, I could run one over on her because people, they know I'm not confrontational, I'm not rowdy, I'm very recluse. Like, I'm the type of person, if I get angry, I don't scream, I don't shout, I cry. You guys may think I'm a human being, but really I'm not. I'm actually a teddy bear. Like, I am so soft. And besides my mum, because her and I were together 24/7 all day, every day, we can crash heads sometimes. I can honestly probably count on one hand, probably even just not even one full hand, how many times I've ever actually been confrontational or even at least just stood up for myself. Like, I just don't do it. At the times when I have, it just ended up in me crying. And I feel like because people are not used to me being like that, the times where I did try to stand up for myself, even if it was a family member, a family friend, immediately I was shut down, my feelings not considered. And honestly, yeah, it's because obviously even family, they know how I am. They're more so comfortable because they know I'm not going to give a wild reaction. I feel like if I was more... I don't know how to say it. Like, there's some people that others won't test or won't try things with because they know they're no nonsense. Like, I want to become no nonsense. I wish that I stopped accepting any and everything, allowing people to take me being nice for granted. There's people out there, and I'm sure all of us know at least one person in our lives, that others wouldn't dare try or test in any certain way because they know they can be hot-tempered, quick to anger. So as a result, people fear them. But let's never get it twisted. There's a difference between being feared and respected. Because they may fear you and not talk a certain way when you're around, but best believe people will slander you behind your back. When you step into a room, it is known by everyone else but you that nobody likes you. It's better to be respected so that in and out of your presence, that standard is upheld. I don't know who needs to hear it. Like, as much as I do want to be more firm, my gentle, sweet nature is also a blessing. There's a scripture that says, a gentle word turns away anger, but something harsh stirs up strife. Like, I've seen situations, when a fight is about to break out, before it happens, what usually is the lead up is smack talking, is people going back and forth, rah, 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 rah. But I've also seen where maybe a fight was de-escalated or like a fight was prevented simply because one of the parties decided to be gentle, decided to speak softly. A gentle word turns away wrath. All my nice girls, all my sweet boys out there who are told you're too kind, you're too nice, never forget the good side of your nature. There's also been times where someone came at me with the wildest energy, just going off the rails, and I held my peace. I didn't give the same energy back for the most part. I literally just kept quiet. I just kept still. Now, fast forward, the person does end up feeling convicted about their behavior. They would come back and genuinely apologize. But now imagine if I had given the same energy back, been wild back, been rude back, the person can then feel justified in their behavior. Believe me when I say it is a blessing to hold your peace. Because every single time I didn't do what I just said, where I did give the same energy back, or when I was the one who lost it quicker, I've regretted it. Every single time I've not held my peace, I've regretted it. Sometimes silence is the best answer. And the thing is, I sometimes wonder, how do you stand up for yourself and be firm, be bold without blowing the lines of becoming disrespectful or something? Because you know how they say flight or flight? One bad character trait of mine is I can be very defensive, and sometimes it can be hard for me to take critique, and that's one thing that my mom's mentioned about me a lot. Because I can be very defensive, if I feel backed into a corner like I'm being attacked, I don't know how to defend myself without coming across rude. Do you get it? 9 times out of 10, because I have good self-control, I'll just keep it to myself, I'll keep my emotions in, and I'll probably be praying about it. But if there was the odd instance where I did fight back, it's probably not going to be pretty. Like, some people, they'll be angry, like, oh, blah, don't talk to me like that, blah, blah, blah. I'll do it whilst crying. Like, I'll cry if I have to. And, how I said an instance happened today that triggered me to make this video? I'll share it, right? Why not? Of course, I'm not going to give too much details, but I can speak generally. Who's going to check me?
Who gonna check me?
My mum is due to have a blood test today, and she's not actually going physically to hospital or anything because she's currently housebound after breaking her hip. So someone called a district nurse, which is nurses who go house to house to different people, is going to come and draw her blood. And I don't know if I'll film outside in the future because it seems there's always some sort of interruption. No? There's like a jet or something. Sorry, back to the story. There's someone who's going to come and draw my mum's blood, and for example, how it's common, like if a doctor can tell you to do a urine sample, like go do a urine sample, then bring it back. But obviously there's no such thing as a doctor telling you to do like a blood sample, because obviously you're not going to draw your own blood. But the last time someone came and they drew my mum's blood, my mum has very hard veins, it can be very difficult. The woman, and it's meant to be her job because we said my mum's housebound, to draw the blood and obviously take it. Tell me why she drew the blood and then gave the blood to me and said, oh, I wouldn't even know where to take it, or you take it, blah blah blah. So obviously I took it to the hospital, even though it was meant to be her to do it, because I feel like she just took advantage because I was in the house. She knew it was meant to be her. Because let's say I had gone out and I wasn't here with my mum, she wouldn't have been able to use the excuse of me being home to try give it to me. So now even when I went to, not the hospital, it's called a GP, to hand it in, the woman didn't want to take it from me. She was so confused. She was like, why are you the one handing it in? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm not a medical personnel. What am I doing carrying blood? I literally had to borderline beg the woman to take it. And because that happened last time and my mom's meant to have another blood test today, I remember I was telling my mum, because obviously I'm primarily here looking after my mum, I was like, oh yeah mum, maybe when the nurse comes I'll go for a walk, or I'll leave the house so that she can't try latch on to me and try claim I'm the one to take it, so that I don't get into issues again. But then I thought of it, she still hasn't arrived yet by the way, and I said, why should I do that? Why should I have to leave the comfort of my own home, and it's freezing right now, it's winter in the UK, and be out in the cold, all because I can't stand up for myself and confront, I don't know if confront is the right word, and be bold, like, no, my mum said, Maria, just tell her no, and I have your back too. Just mention how the last time you tried taking the blood, it was a big issue, and I hope she doesn't ask me to try take it again. Like, as soon as she comes and to take my mum's blood, I'm just going to stay in my room or something. But the thing is, I shouldn't have to hide. I shouldn't try lock myself in my room. Sorry about that, about the beeping, just ignore it. Or hiding somewhere, or because I don't know how to stand up for myself. It's literally her job. She's literally been called to come here because my mum is housebound and she's the one meant to sort it out with these other doctors. Like, guys, I can't tell you the trouble I got in trying to deliver the blood myself. Like, the woman looked at me like I was speaking Japanese or something, like... Anyway, I'm speaking too much. Stop being too nice, stop being a pushover, defend yourself. Love you, bye-bye.